Did you know that Gojo has a hidden bug in his stomach? Or that his parents are actually still alive? Here are 21 of the wildest secrets about Gojo that you probably never knew. Starting off with the fact that Gojo is a total sweet tooth. Even in episode 2, Megumi gives him a look for stopping to buy sweets while people are literally dying. But he wasn't always like this. In Jujutsu Kaisen fanbook, it was revealed that at first, he ate sugary treats to keep his brain sharp. It's kinda like L from Death Note. But somewhere along the way, it stopped being just a brain boost and turned into a full-blown obsession. While Gojo is of legal drinking age, you might be surprised to learn that he doesn't drink at all. In fact, he absolutely hates alcohol. Unlike his old friend Shoko Ieiri, the biggest drinker in the series, Gojo avoids it entirely. The reason isn't clear. Maybe he dislikes the taste, or maybe he just doesn't like how it makes him feel. However, given his immense power, it makes sense. Even a moment of lost control could be dangerous. And while we're on the topic of his age, here's a secret you probably missed. In Jujutsu Kaisen Movie 0, during the Maki Yuta school scene, if you look closely at the license plate on Gojo's car, you'll see the numbers 12-075. The first four numbers, 12-07, represent his birthday, 12 being December, and 07 meaning the 7th day of December. The final digit, 5, is a clever touch by the animators, because Gojo translates to 5th Street in Japanese. However, this isn't the only Gojo-related secret in the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie. In the scene where Gojo introduces Yuta, if you look closely at the whiteboard above him, you'll notice some Japanese words. When translated, it reads, "Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one," which is the same line he says during his fight with Toji. But that is not all, because this quote is from Buddha himself. Despite Gojo's good looks, he isn't the girl magnet you think. Far from it actually. In the Jujutsu Kaisen fanbook, Gege revealed that Gojo isn't much of a relationship person and can't see himself being faithful to a certain woman. Many fans misinterpreted this, thinking Gege was calling Gojo a cheater. However, if you look at the Japanese version of the fanbook, you'll notice that Gege used the word seijitsu, which highlights Gojo's genuine and sincere nature, not his romantic loyalty. If Gege intended to imply Gojo's faithfulness, he would have said chujitsu, which means loyalty in Japanese. Now let's talk about this really creepy secret. After Kenjaku seals Gojo in the prison realm, fans began to question how exactly Gojo wouldn't experience hunger. Well, during the Jump Giga Early Spring 2023 interview, Gege Akutami addressed this. He explained that since physical time doesn't flow inside the prison realm, eating and defecation don't happen. He admitted that he didn't get a chance to cover this in the manga, but he revealed an interesting detail. Jujutsu sorcerers have special bugs inserted in their stomachs for long-term missions where eating is difficult and the bathroom breaks are hard to come by. Despite Gojo's sharp intelligence in reading situations, he's not great at understanding how others feel about him, especially Utahime. It's well known that she dislikes him. This is clear from their interactions, where she's often annoyed or angry around him. Utahime's frustration likely stems from Gojo teasing her for being weak. While she constantly expresses how much she dislikes him, Gojo doesn't take it seriously, thinking it's just playful banter. But you've gotta admit, they'd actually make a good couple. Unlike most characters in the show, Gojo doesn't seem to have any specific hobbies, as he's good at pretty much everything he tries. However, back in his high school days, he was a huge Digimon fan, often speaking in Digimon references, which is really cool. However, both his Japanese and English voice actors have ties to the Digimon universe. His Japanese voice actor voiced Charizmon, while his English counterpart played Kyotaro Imura in Digimon Adventures Last Evolution Kizuna. But Digimon isn't the only thing Gojo is a huge fan of. In Season 2, if you look closely at his phone, you'll spot a wallpaper of a famous Japanese idol named Waka Inoue. Turns out Gojo is a big fan of hers and even mentions that he likes women who resemble her. While Gojo often seems laid back, his life is mostly full of stress. According to the Jujutsu Kaisen fanbook, the thing that stresses him out the most is dealing with the higher-ups in Jujutsu society. From fighting curses to the betrayal of his best friend who tried to create a world just for sorcerers, Gojo faces plenty of pressure. But nothing frustrates him more than the constant interference of the higher-ups, whose strict rules make it harder for him to do what he believes is right. And that's why we mostly see him being disrespectful towards them. While watching Season 1, Episode 3, you might have caught Gojo saying, "Good Joseph," instead of "good job." At first glance, it seems like a mistake, but it's actually not. Turns out, Gojo is using a play on words. He says, "Otsukare Samantha," a twist on the common phrase, "Otsukare-sama," which means good job in English. So it's actually Gojo's quirky way of turning praise into a playful name-based phrase. While many believe Gojo's character design is inspired by Kakashi Hatake from Naruto, you might be surprised to learn it's actually based on a minor character from the Chunin exams, Tobitake Tombo. When Gege Akutami asked Naruto's creator Masashi Kishimoto about Tombo, Kishimoto couldn't even remember the character. Surprisingly, the dragonflies on Kid Gojo's yukata in Season 2 are a tribute to Tombo, since his last name, Tombo, translates to dragonfly in Japanese, which is crazy! But an even crazier secret happens during Toji's fight with Teen Gojo, after Gojo turns Toji into the Apple logo. Toji tells him about his son, Megumi, which seemed odd at the time. However, Gojo eventually adopts Megumi. Many fans thought it was out of pity or his good heart, but Gege revealed in the fanbook that Gojo actually adopted Megumi because he was seeking someone with real talent, nothing else. Speaking of Gege, did you know he's not exactly a fan of Gojo? According to him, Gojo's overpowered nature slows down the story's progression. Gege's dislike for the character is pretty clear, especially after Gojo won the Jump Festa popularity poll. Gege jokingly told the ladies who voted for Gojo to pick Nanami instead. In the end, Gojo came in third. However, despite his frustrations with Gojo's immense power, Gege did admit that he enjoys making Gojo look incredibly handsome whenever he draws him. In the Jujutsu Kaisen movie Zero, you might notice that Gojo is wearing bandages, but in the anime, he's often seen with a blindfold. So why the change? Well, it turns out Gege made this decision to make his life easier. Drawing bandages on Gojo in every manga panel week after week became too much of a hassle, so Gege swapped them out for a blindfold. This was a much simpler and more efficient choice. Now we all know that Gojo wears a blindfold to prevent his 6 eyes from using too much cursed energy, but how exactly can he see through it? According to the fanbook, Gege explained that the 6 eyes allow Gojo to see cursed energy in such intricate detail. Even with the blindfold on, he can still perceive high-resolution thermography. He's able to detect things that don't even have cursed energy, like buildings, by analyzing the residue and flow of cursed energy around them. Before we dive into the more crazy secrets about Gojo, if you're having a great time so far and want to be entered into our video shoutout giveaway, simply subscribe and comment, "I subbed," and you'll be entered. This shoutout giveaway goes to @PandoraScatterSoul. Thanks for being a part of the family. Let's talk about Gojo's Infinity. While rewatching some episodes of Season 2, I noticed something interesting about Teen Gojo's eyes. At times, his eyes are glowing, and at other times, they're not. So what's going on? When his eyes glow, it signals that his cursed technique Infinity is active. If they're not glowing, it means the technique is off. However, after his fight with Toji, once Gojo reached adulthood, his eyes are always glowing, indicating that his Infinity is now permanently active. This subtle detail is a clever touch from the animators, showing how Gojo's power evolves over time. While Gojo's Infinity is always active, if you notice his interactions with Yuji and Kujisaki in both the anime and the manga, you'll see that he always lets them touch him. This is a subtle yet significant detail, showing that despite his immense power, he's comfortable enough to let his guard down around them. Did you know that Gojo has his own secret theme songs? Like Tite Kubo, the creator of Bleach, who assigns theme songs to his characters, Gege picked 2 tracks for Gojo. They are Into an Unseen Tomorrow by Asian Kung Fu Generation and Shame on Me by Vici. These songs align perfectly with Gojo's larger-than-life personality, with their energetic and upbeat tempos reflecting his bold, charismatic nature. When Gojo talks about his connection to Yuta Okotsu, he mentions they share a common ancestor, Michizane Sugawara. Interestingly, Sugawara no Michizane was a real person from the Heian period. He was known for being a scholar, poet, and politician. Despite his historical roots, Michizane is now revered by some Shinto practitioners as the god of learning, Tenman Tenjin, or simply Tenjin. The Gojo family is actually descended from the Sugawara clan, making this connection both fitting and meaningful. While we know Gojo hails from the prestigious Gojo family, details about his parents have always been scarce. However, in the fanbook, Gege revealed that Gojo's parents are still alive. They gained a higher standing within the family after his birth, but they're not particularly powerful sorcerers themselves. Due to Gojo's rapid progression in his sorcery, they couldn't keep up with his education. As a result, they grew distant from their son, which is just sad to think about. Here's a little extra secret for you. Have you ever noticed that whenever Gojo talks to or about Geto, he has this habit of scratching his head or neck? It's a small but interesting detail that pops up frequently. He even does it when Principal Yaga questions him about why he let Geto go during a certain event. This subtle gesture seems to highlight some underlying tension or discomfort when Gojo reflects on Geto on their past interactions. Now, those are some insane secrets about Gojo, but if you're ready for something even crazier, then check out this video! Go on, click it!